The core idea of what it means to be a SharePoint site has not changed in SharePoint 2010. Your sites are still a collection of lists and libraries where you've described the kind of content that you want to deal with, whether it's document libraries or calendars or task lists, and SharePoint has generated the website around those lists and libraries. On any SharePoint site, I can go to my Site Actions menu, find my View All Site Content link, and see the lists and libraries that this site is made of. In this case, I have several libraries, I have 4 lists, I have 1 discussion board. If I want to add another list or library to this SharePoint site, I can simply go to my Create option and see the available lists and libraries. This is almost identical to SharePoint 2007. Yours might look a little different than this. You can see how I've got a message up here saying, improve the creation experience, install Microsoft Silverlight. Well, if you have Microsoft Silverlight installed already, you might be seeing something different. I'm going to go ahead and install it here. Once Silverlight is installed, I'm going to go back to my Site Actions menu to view all site content, just to follow the link that we went through again, and click the Create button. I see a very different kind of experience here. Now, I'm seeing the same options. They're being presented to me in a different fashion. These are still my lists and libraries, the same options I had a minute ago, but I get more information about each of them. I can select the announcements list or asset library or the assets web database. So installing Silverlight just gives me more of a rich client experience when I'm doing this. You can filter these down to individual lists grouped into categories like communication and content. And even from here, it will allow you to directly create new pages or even new sites if you have the available permission. If I've decided that what I want to add is a new list to represent some, say, favorite links, I can select that option, give it a name, and directly hit Create, where it'll automatically create it under the current site, or I can hit More Options, things like, do I want to display that on the quick launch bar, yes or no? It creates the list and dumps me right into it with automatically the list settings ribbon section popped up. I can directly get to that page again from my Site Actions menu. While the menu itself gives me direct links to creating a new page or a new document library or even a new site, you also have the More Options menu, which will take you straight back to that location that we saw just a moment ago. And while a couple of these options are new, the asset library, for example, was not in SharePoint 2007. This is a library that's designed for large files like audio and video files. And you also have a list called the status list, which is the equivalent of the KPI list in SharePoint 2007. Now, you may have a slightly different arrangement of available lists and libraries depending on the version of SharePoint that you have and what your farm administrator may or may not have enabled. But while the user interface may be very different from SharePoint 2007, the actual lists and libraries that you can create are almost identical.